What's good, everybody? We are back with another sit-down video. So we haven't done one of these in a while, but I feel like with where NBA Live Mobile is right now, we kind of need it. I feel like when we were doing these videos is when we were actually seeing change in the game. And I feel like right now, most YouTubers, including myself, are kind of just like gliding through the game, hoping it gets better, hoping for good programs, and we're just not really seeing it. So I've got a list of 8 different things that I feel like if these could happen, we could have an NBA Live Mobile like we had for Season 1. I don't think anybody would really disagree. NBA Live Mobile Season 1 and NBA Live Mobile Season 2 are worlds apart. I would say NBA, like if there's anybody playing the game right now, it's probably because they remember how great the game used to be and they're hoping that it can return to that. Obviously, during the reset, the game took a huge step down. So, gameplay got worse. They reduced the number of programs that we had, or not the number of programs, the number of lineups we could use. The card art wasn't as good. The auction house tax was like 35%. There was just a giant list of things that were wrong with the game. Obviously, EA has fixed a lot of those things. We also had program cards weren't even auctionable. The only cards that you could even auction were the base cards. So there were a lot of things wrong and a lot of things that have been fixed. But still, NBA Live Mobile is not what it used to be. And I'm not just saying this because NBA Live Mobile is not as popular on my channel anymore. Obviously, that's true, but if you look at other YouTubers' channels as well, NBA Live Mobile just doesn't get as many views because there aren't that many people watching it. So both for my sake and for you guys' sake, like, I want to enjoy making NBA Live Mobile videos, and it's just, I have a hard time enjoying it right now because of where the game is. So looking back at last season, we had so many things we could grind for, so many programs that were grindable. Like, I didn't even get a coin sponsor up until April, so I played NBA Live Mobile for a year and 2 months without any coin sponsor, and loved the game, enjoyed making videos for the game. And then after the reset, it all kind of changed. So I got 8 things that I feel like need to happen in order for NBA Live Mobile to be able to return to what it used to be. I think it was by far the best mobile basketball game out there. And right now, I wouldn't say it's much better than NBA 2K Mobile. So first thing I think we need to do is bring back coin packs. Now, if I would have said this before, I wouldn't have expected anything to change. We had coin sponsors in the game. Obviously, EA took away coin packs because they're like, oh, people can just go to a coin sponsor and buy 1 million coins for 25 cents. They can open all the packs rather than going to buy NBA cash, and we're not making any money off of it. The thing is, you took away coin sponsors. So if there's going to be some sort of give and take, we gotta have the give as well. We can't just have you take away stuff, you take away stuff, you take away stuff, and nothing happened in return. One of the things that was taken away was coin packs, and you took away our ability to buy coins, so you would think when that happens, they would give us the ability to buy the packs, but that still hasn't happened yet, and it's been over a week. So I think we all kind of assumed that as soon as that happened, we would get coin packs in the game. I'm not complaining about coin sponsors being gone. I understand why EA did it. It took away a lot of their profits, more than likely. And I understand, even though it's probably not better for the game, it's never going to change. Like, coin sponsors are probably gone for good, and I've accepted that. But if you're going to take those away, give us back some of the stuff that you took away because of coin sponsors. So, second thing, very much related to that, is reduce the auction house tax. Last year, we only had a 10% auction house tax. That was with a completely un-EA controlled auction house. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, that probably helped coin sellers out, but it made the game more fun as well. You could make coins and not have to worry about, oh, I just sold a card for 5 million coins. Oh no, I just lost 1 million of those coins. Like, I'm pretty sure the increased auction house tax was put in place because of coin sponsors, and yet the tax hasn't changed. And I understand they had it higher before because there were coin sponsors. You've done everything. Like, we've accepted that. Give us a little bit back. There's got to be some give and take. And that brings me to my third point, which is really just to listen to the community. I don't think, really, I feel like ever since Cornell left, it seems like we haven't been listened to. Now, it might not be that. I know that the community community manager doesn't have complete control over what happens in the community, over what programs are put in place, what changes are made, but I feel like they do have a major role in that. I've never seen EA's NBA Live Mobile's community manager ever interact ever since Cornell left. Like, we used to have weekly videos where Cornell was with the developers talking about the new content we were getting, giving feedback, talking to people in the community. Cornell was really, really connected with the community and did a really good job of, I think, relaying that information to the developers. And ever since he left, I feel like we just really haven't been listened to. So I feel like that needs to change. If you look at the NBA Live Mobile Twitter account, I think it's a great example of that, because they're constantly tweeting out, oh, we got these new packs in the store, go open them up, and all the replies are just replies of fix this, fix this, fix this, and we never get any feedback. Like, the only time we ever hear anything is where they made a massive change to the auction house where you can't buy coins anymore. EA completely took control. You can't snipe players anymore. And the only tweet that we got is, we've made some minor changes to the auction house to make the game better for everyone. When it didn't really make the game better for everyone. I don't think there are a whole lot of people that are a huge fan of what happened with the auction house. So we need some sort of communication, like, give us some indication that you're even listening to us, because we've never really seen in all of NBA Live Mobile 18 that the developers have any idea what the community is actually saying. Even if you look at NBALive.gg, there were a few EA employees that went on there and said, we're going to be really involved on here, listening to the community, giving you guys feedback. They posted that. It was 3 different members, I believe, and then after those posts, they just disappeared. They haven't been seen on that place since, and I think that's a really great place for them to get feedback. They're just not listening right now. So another thing that I would say needs to happen for NBA Live Mobile to be great again is more lineups that are playable. Last season, we had 5 playable lineups. 5. This season, we've got 2 lineups, and only one of them you can use in the head-to-head. Now, here's the thing. More playable lineups doesn't just help us, it also helps EA. So I'm not sure how they haven't figured this out yet, but if you've only got 1 lineup you can play with in head-to-head, nobody really has incentive to improve their bench other than getting players with good boosts. And for that, you're not going to want to buy the most expensive players in the game. Most of the time, you're just going to want to buy the players that give boosts, which means you're probably not going to spend a ton of NBA cash just for a tiny bit of boost. So really, for me personally, the only thing that I worry about improving is my NBA lineup, because League vs. League doesn't give enough reward for it to be worth it for me to, like, really go and try to improve that. Because if I'm only playing 1 game a day, best possible thing I can get out of, what, 60 league wins is an 89 overall card, and that's not even going to improve my NBA lineup. Why would I waste the time, waste the money to improve that classic lineup when it's not really doing anything for me? In order for us to, in order for you guys to be able to make more money from us wanting to buy cards, give us more options. Like, if I've got a 92 overall power forward that I've trained up to a 97, such as, or maybe it was a 91 Kyle Kuzma that I trained up to a 97. Okay, they just put a new Master Porzingis in the game. That's going to give me like a 1 or 2 overall improvement, and it's probably going to cost me a couple $100 to get it. Why would I try to go for that? Like, that 93 Porzingis, if I'm getting 1 overall improvement, is it really worth it for me to do that? Whereas if we had 5 lineups, I'd probably have 1 random lineup where I've got like an 89 overall power forward, and then it's going to be like, okay, now it's actually worth it for me to go for that Porzingis because that's a significant improvement. But if it's only a 1 or 2 overall improvement, and I know he's probably going to be replaced in a matter of weeks, is it really worth it for me to throw in a bunch of money just to get a player that eventually I'm going to have to use as training points because I'm using him to be replaced with someone else? So I think in order for people to actually, like, really enjoy the game, you need to have more lineups that are actually playable. And like I mentioned earlier, League vs. League needs to have a purpose. We don't really have a League vs. League master other than the coach, Doc Rivers, and right now, coaches are pretty irrelevant. Coaches, elite coaches on the auction house, I think, go for like 50K, and those are top tier in the game. We haven't really seen anything happen with coaches ever since NBA Live Mobile came out. We got those coaches, and then boom, Nothing. So I think we need to have some sort of variation. That would also give people more incentive to improve their bench, because if they're just looking for that overall boost and you only got to get it up to an 85 overall, people don't really need to improve their bench that much. They can just get a bunch of base cards and train them up, and they get that boost from the coach. So coaches are pretty much irrelevant too, but more than anything, I think League vs. League needs to have a purpose. Especially if you want people to want to invest in their classic lineup and there's no League vs. League Masters, you don't really have to do a whole lot of League vs. League gameplay to get James Harden. So what's my reason for wanting to be good in League vs. League? Just for bragging rights? Because I don't really play the game for bragging rights. That's not why I'm here. Typically, if I'm playing a game, it's because I want to have fun doing it. And then the last thing I would say is if you're gonna make a change to the game, do it right the first time. Like, I think today is a great example. We got these new specialist players in the game. The filter is broken. Well, actually, I don't even know if the filter is broken because you can't even find the specialist players on the auction house. Like, with the way they've set up the auction house, you can't even see the specialist players right now. So, I don't know if it's just happening for me. I've seen a lot of other people complain about it as well. We're not going to want to buy players. Like, it says that they're auctionable, but if I can't actually see them on the auction house, then I know if I list a player, it's not going to get bought up. So what's the purpose of me buying all these players, trying to make coins off it, if I can't even put it on the auction house? Like, if you're going to put something in the game, do it right the first time. And I think that's kind of like the overarching point of this video for all of NBA Live Mobile Season 2, is it feels like they're throwing stuff in the game and then they wait for us to realize that it's messed up and for us to point out what they need to fix, and then they'll go and fix it, and then they're like, oh, everything's good. When it seems like we're just kind of getting the sloppy seconds. Like, it's pretty obvious they've sent most of their good developers, most of their good minds over to NBA Live 18 for console, and NBA Live Mobile is just kind of scrambling around, attempting to survive, and they're not really doing it. So hopefully EA can listen to this video, get some changes in the game. I try not to make a ton of these videos for you guys because I like to keep the content entertaining, but at this point, NBA Live Mobile, it's hard to have fun playing the game, and I want to be able to have fun playing the game. Hope you guys do too. If you guys agree with these points and you got anything else you want EA to hear, make sure to drop a like down below and comment what you think they need to change in the game. I think for the most part this covers the main points. I don't really think we're going to get control of the auction house back, just because EA is so bent on making sure they get 100% of their profits, regardless of how it affects the game. So I've given up trying to get that fixed. I think these are the main things we need to focus on. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. I can't speak today. And turn on notifications so you know as soon as I upload. And I'll see you guys next time.